Am I talking? Hi everybody, this is Kay with MK Motor Riders. Welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a review on the levers that we installed on my 2022 Lowrider SC, and we'll also be doing a review of the levers we installed on Mark's bike on the 2018 Street Glide. Let's get to it. So, what do you think? You like them? I do. Well, the reason why I decided to go with the Flow Motorsport levers is I wanted to match the levers to the bike. The original ones are silver, and as you can see, I decided to go with these lovely black ones, and they look really sharp. The other reason why I decided to go with the Flow Motorsport levers is these are actually adjustable. There is a knob here that controls. There's a screw here on the inside that you can bring it in or out, and then you can adjust the lever to come closer if you like it a little bit farther. But right now this is as far in as you could get it, and it's easier for me to get my little hand around it. So here is a comparison between the stock lever and the Flow Motorsport lever. As you can see, the curve of the original lever, it's a little bit more pronounced, versus the Flow Rider's just an easy curve. It's easier to hold. Plus, we also took some measurements, which was quite interesting. The flow circumference is about 1 3/4, and the stock is about 2 3/8. That's a big difference, especially for smaller hands. So it isn't necessarily about the distance between your lever versus your grips. It is more about, can you really get your fingers around it? I know for me, I'm pretty much fingertipping the original versus the Flow Motorsport one. I can actually get my fingers around it, and for safety purposes that would be much better. Okay, here is a comparison on the clutch side. As you can see, the original lever is a little bit more of a pronounced curve to it versus the Flow Motorsport one is a bit of a easier flow or curve to it. I do find that pulling in the clutch is a lot easier. I don't know how much more weight I'm using to pull it, but again, the fact that I can put my fingers around the whole lever versus just fingertipping the stock, it's a lot easier, especially when we're doing stop and go riding in traffic. So next we are going to do a review on the, hopefully I'm saying this right, Oberon Performance levers on Mark's 2018 Street Glide. The reason why he bought these is for appearance-wise, he wanted to match his motorcycle. He decided to go with the red lever and the blue knob, which matches the rest of his gorgeous bike. As I like to call it, Captain America bike, but I digress. So when it comes to adjustability, the Oberon Performance levers have a knob here at the top. There's actually 5 different positions that you can move the lever. As you can see, it just snaps into a different spot. The nice thing about the Oberon Performance levers, when it comes to the adjustable part, is you have this dial here, or knob, where on the Flow Motorsport, what is it called?
I don't know, it's a wheel.
It's a wheel, which it's a little bit harder to get to. But for the purposes of accuracy, you only have 5 positions here that you can move in or out. On the Flow Motorsport, you have a screw, a set screw, so you can dial it in as much as you want or put it out as much as you want. So there isn't really a limit unless you get to the end or to the top. Okay, so here's a comparison between the stock lever and the Oberon Performance lever. As you can see, the difference in curve is very, very different. Plus, when we took measurements, the circumference of the stock is about 2 3/8, and then the Oberon Performance was 2 inches. So there is a bit of a difference, and again, smaller hands, easier to get your fingers around them. Here's the difference on the clutch side. I believe he has adjusted his a little bit. Actually, I don't know if you noticed this, but you could see there's a number. So you know where you're actually dialed down to. So this is down to a 1. So you can see that the difference between where the stock sits versus position 1 on the Oberon Performance is significant. So far, what do you think? If you like what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment, like the video, and we would appreciate that. So we're just going to do a quick overview of what we've talked about. We both like our new levers. We really like the look. The engineering of both of the levers is really great. What I will say about the Oberon Performance, if you want to go ahead and order these, you better be prepared to wait, because these are custom orders. You could probably wait about 6 weeks. Now on the Flow Motorsports, I was able to order these through Amazon. I believe these are about $160, and I could get them in a couple of days. The Oberon Performance was about $220. So again, if you really do like those, just make sure you be prepared to wait for about 6 weeks to get your order in. Another thing that you want to be able to keep in mind, regardless of whether you're doing the Flo Motorsport levers or changing out to the Oberon Performance levers, is your friction zone is going to change. You want to make sure that however you're setting your levers, that you really test this out before you hit the road. I had mine originally all the way down because it was just so much easier to pull in, but I noticed that my friction zone was slim to none. Plus, I was also having trouble at some points actually starting the motorcycle when I pulled in the clutch. Now, it could just be a clutch adjustment that I need to have done, or the clutch isn't recognizing that I've pulled in the clutch. But once I made an adjustment to push it out a little bit more, I was not having that problem. So just keep that in mind when you change out your levers for any type of new lever, that you just test out your friction zone. But make sure you do that before you start riding. So we're going to close this out. Thanks again for watching, and if you have any comments or suggestions about the video, please leave us your comments and we'll get back to you. Thanks again for watching, and ride safe.